What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, I seem to have left out a little bit of, well, not a little bit. I kind of just skipped over a detail regarding Sony's downfall, or I don't know. It's like an avalanche of bad news, right? So I didn't mention the fact that their so-called 13 million PlayStation 5s just chilling in warehouses, and according to some or somebody, that 13 million is part of the 40 plus million that they were counting. Sony was counting, or is counting allegedly, the number of consoles that they produced, not so much they sold through. Now, some outlets say sold through, You can't really trust them anymore because of, the Xbox tax, and I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. Some people are saying there is no Xbox tax, but whatever, we can get to it. But I'm gonna focus on this 13 million thing here. So, remember I was alluding to how Nintendo did dirty business in the 80s with the NES, the first NES, they were doing I believe it was the NES. They were doing dirty business with the NES. Besides the whole Nintendo seal of approval and the way that they did exclusives, meaning if your game is on the NES, you can't make it for anybody else, basically. And they were allegedly buying back their consoles and counting them as sold and all these things, right? Sounds pretty similar to what Sony's doing right now. I mean, they're both Japanese companies. Maybe they went to the same school of how to make video game businesses. I don't know. Look, I don't know. But all I know is that if that is true, the 13 million that are chilling in the warehouse not being sold, or not sold, and they're counting that as sold, that's just dishonest. That's like, isn't there a law against that? I mean, they're a Japanese company, so I know their headquarters is in the US, but I don't know how all of that, shakes out. But all of the bad news, all of the things that you're seeing, all the donkey unicorns and the ponies are crying about things. They're crying now because Xbox fans are making fun of PlayStation. Now, why are you gonna make fun of PlayStation when they're down? They might go out of business, bankruptcy, blah, blah. I mean, that's why. Because y'all set the table. Sony set the table and they put out a burnt turkey. That's a bad analogy. I'm just saying. They had the position and the power to keep it moving, to keep it going, to stay number one. They just didn't know how. Their leadership sucked. Their choices, bad. Wasting all this money on stupid things. And now they're stuck. They're stuck with Bungie. They're stuck with a bunch of bad games that they got to cancel or delay. And they got no games. They literally have no games. First party PlayStation game, 0. And y'all are like, oh, Final Fantasy 7 is not a Sony game, sorry. Let's say up and buy Square Enix, but they can't do that. They're about to get sued. 7.9 million. Come on, son. And that's only in the UK. What happens when America, what happens when all these other countries come along and say, oh yeah, that's right, yeah. Let's multiply that by 10. 7.9 by 10, 80 billion dollars. Sony can't recover. That's like worth, I think that's almost their cap worth. They're worth, that's almost how much Sony's worth. Imagine getting sued for all your worth. You can't recover for that. Nobody's gonna loan you $80 billion. They're in trouble. They're in trouble even if they have to pay the 7.9. They're in trouble. They're in trouble regardless of what happens. Let's say they settle. How much they gonna settle for? How much they gotta pay each person, the millions of 40 million PlayStation users? How much? $10? 10 times 40 million? It's $400 million. Just gone. That's like a game. Well, not a big game, but no, actually that's 2 games, my bad. That's not good. Anyway, back to this Xbox tax. I watched the video, Oh No, It's Alex. I did not watch Destin Legarius because I'm like, listen, you work for IGN. And yeah, so I'm not gonna take anything you say. I like his videos, I like how he covers stuff, but If you're gonna spit some nonsense, then no. So the thing about Alex, it's Alex. He says there's no Xbox tax per se, but what he was saying is that the culture of the media outlets and the journalism and video game journalists is A, corrupt, and B, ignorant and dumb, basically. And so he's kind of proving the point that there is an Xbox tax with the corruption part, right? So if I'm a writer for IGN and I hate Xbox and I love PlayStation and I write a negative story about Xbox, that's my bias coming through. That's the tax. That is a person in power pushing their agenda, whether it be pro PlayStation, pro Xbox, whatever. That's what the tax is. Not like, he did his due diligence, and he did point out that a lot of people who are trying to make some tax happen or whatever, some Xbox tax instances happen, they edit it and they cut out some stuff which changed the context of what they were trying to prove. So it wasn't really an Xbox tax, but it's still there. There's still instances of it, like when IGN magically forgets to put Xbox multiple times, and he said, that's incompetence. That's people not checking their work. And I'm like, no. If you're a fan of PlayStation and you like, we're gonna screw it, or if PlayStation got a foothold on IGN, I don't know. There must be something there, right? How are you gonna mess up 3 times? 3 times, like in a row, and be like, oops, we forgot to put X. Oops, we forgot. Oops, this is a third-party multi-plat game. We forgot to put Xbox. 3 times in a row? I don't think so. That's not coincidence. That's not incompetence. That's purposefully done, and that's the tax. Okay? So I like Alex. I like his stuff. But I disagree with him. Now some of it is incompetence. I'm not saying everything he said is false, but you cannot neglect or negate the actual instances of taxation, okay? And the actual instances of PlayStation, exemption, excuse me. The PlayStation exemption is real. These games are just love it. The PlayStation Portal gets an 8 and the Steam Deck gets a 7. What? Come on, son. It's ridiculous. So they get an exemption. Xbox gets a tax. This is the world we live in. Until the tides turn and more people are on Xbox, and then they're going to change their tune. I guarantee it, because all they want is clicks. And that's the most important point of what Alex was saying, is that it's not about console wars. It's not about that. It's about IGN playing both sides in order to get all the clicks, in order to get the revenue from all the clicks. That's all it is. Like I said, I always say this, it's all about the bottom line. It's always the bottom line. And that's what IGN is working on. That's what their whole motivation is. It's the bottom line. And so when they put these clickbait things, and they know they're gonna angry Xbox guys, and they're gonna retweet it and all this stuff, and then they're gonna pleasure the PlayStation guys, right? And then they're gonna retweet it and stuff, and they're gonna please Sony, which will blacklist them if they do something wrong to Sony. You can't hurt Sony, so this is working out all good. But now Sony's in the dumps. Sony's going down, so they cannot maintain this type of behavior, IGN in particular, because they have to follow the popular crowd, the popular brand, basically. Right now, Sony is still that, but it's not gonna be that forever. It's not gonna be that for long, I would say. I would say definitely by the end of this generation, it's gonna flip. It's gonna flip. I mean, you're gonna see it gradually happen. In fact, there's no PlayStation games next year is a super hurtful thing. And yeah, sure, they'll come out with Wolverine the next year, but like 1 game, 2 game versus, the 4 first party games from Xbox plus whatever third party deals and stuff that they're doing. Come on, it's like a slaughter. It's basically what Nintendo did back in the day. They had all the games, Sega Master System had nothing. And so what people did was, where are all the games at? Oh, they on Nintendo? Let's go get a Nintendo. Even though the Nintendo Entertainment System was weaker than the Sega Master System, less colors, how's the sound? I think the sound was better on the NES. But anyway, we're not doing that. But let me know in the comments below what you think about the Xbox tax. I know I did a video on it before, but I had to re-up it because I saw Alex's video and I was like, oh shoot. And let me know about the tax and also the whatever I was talking about. The first thing I was talking about, I don't remember. Doesn't matter, because I'm tired and I'm black at the dagger. But yeah, I appreciate you really subscribe and hit it up in the comments. Like I said, you know what I'm saying, if you get, it's an open forum, but like I just said, let's be nice to each other, even though it's console wars here and there. Still, you know, I unlike Dirt Griggity, I have not had enough of the ponies and the donkey unicorns as far as to like negate them and kick them out. So my comments are open to anyone who wants to comment in there. I just say, if you're a donkey unicorn, you're a pony, or you're Xbox, let's just respect each other and just have you can take jabs and stuff like that, but you know there is a line, so let's just respect each other, keep it civil, and you know, bottom line is this is just games. It's not that serious. But I surely do enjoy it, and I surely do enjoy what's happening in the industry right now. It's a course correction basically. So, but longest outro. I was about to say extra. Longest outro ever. Yeah. I need a nap. Preach, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Till the wait.